Hi guys, it's Melanie, and in this video I am going to talk a little bit about fabric, one of my very favorite things to buy and talk about. So in this video I am going to kind of talk about how I organize it, where I like to buy it from, and the cuts that I like to buy. I get a lot of questions about what cut to buy, to build up your stash. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is just that. What kind of cut do you buy if you don't have it maybe for a specific project, but you see some fabric that you really like, it's on sale, and you want to add it to your stash. This is a half yard cut, which is what I like to buy. So this is the width of fabric, which is usually 42 to 45 inches, and then this is 1/2 of a yard, it's about 18 inches. This is a good cut because you can do a lot with this amount of fabric, especially a lot of quilting projects and small craft projects. If you don't have something specific in mind, like a pattern that you're going to buy specific fabric for, this is a really good cut. Sometimes a yard is a little too much and you're going to just have a lot left over, and a 1/4 yard is sometimes too small. Fat quarters are a good cut because they're the 18 by 22. There's a lot of patterns that utilize fat quarters. I like to buy the half yards because generally if a quilting cotton is 8 to 10 for a full yard, you can get them for $4 to $5 a half yard of fabric. So recently my mom was in town, and while my mom was here, I asked her to help me organize my fabric. It had become this big mess in that yellow hutch behind me, and it was one of those daunting projects that I just kept putting off tackling. So when she was in town, she helped me organize my fabric. And we kind of talked about, she sews as well, and we kind of talked about just kind of some good strategies about how we should organize my fabric stash. So one of the things that we talked about is making it a little bit more portable. We are an Army family and we'll be moving in a few months, so the yellow hutch is probably not going to come with me. And so I needed my fabric to be a little bit more portable without having to just like throw it in a box. So this is what we did. We bought some bins at Walmart. These are just some Sterilite bins, and this is my pink fabric. This is anywhere from a fat quarter to a half yard cut of fabric, and she helped me organize it kind of by color. I have a few more bins like this of other cuts that are similar, and I like this too because I can pull it out, I can set it down on my table, and I can kind of match colors a little bit easier without having to take everything to the hutch. I can kind of take this out and it all stays nice and contained. These then fold this way and you can stack another identical one right on top of it, and it still allows for airflow, so the fabric doesn't get musty or anything like that. So those are obviously a little bit smaller cuts because it's 2 rows of them, so they're not a super large cut of fabric. My larger cuts I have in this bigger bin. These are just some of my larger cuts. I don't have a huge overwhelming fabric stash to lose track of the colors and the kind of things that I have. The other thing that I kind of organized was my scraps. I have a lot of scraps, and so I bought these Sterilite boxes at Target for, it was $8 for a pack of 5, something like that. And so this is my green bin. These are the kind of sizes of scraps that I keep, even down to smaller strips. Scraps of fabric are just a really great thing to keep. It's all really nice, good quality fabric, and one of these days I'll get to making some scrap buster type projects. So the last thing I kind of want to briefly talk about is where I like to buy fabric from. In some of my fabric hauls I've talked about this a little bit, so I'm just going to run through it really quick. One of my favorites is local fabric shops. They're not always the least expensive, but you're supporting local businesses, other business owners that love sewing, they love fabric, and they really are a good asset to the community. A lot of times they have classes, they hold different meetings and things like that. So that's a really great place to buy fabric. A lot of times they run monthly specials and sales and things like that. So that's a great place to support. But also there's like fabric.com, which has really great prices, not great customer service. And Fat Quarter Shop is great. They have a great selection, good customer service. Fabric Worm is good. Etsy is really good. I buy a lot of stuff from Etsy. There's the thing about Etsy is there's like individual fabric stores that are run by moms like me or just people with a small business, and they have like more of a niche. They just sell bundles, or they just have a specific type of fabric. My friend who runs Whimsy Quilts and Fabrics, she does more vintage, floral, kind of fabrics, and so that's kind of her thing, and so her repeat customers all really like that style. Stash Modern is a great one. I've talked about them before. They have a great curation of fabric, things that I just tend to like, so I can find a lot, you know, from that one spot. Green Fairy Quilts also is a good one. They have a lot of pre-cuts, and pre-cuts are another great cut to buy to add to your stash. I usually only buy them if I have something specific in mind because they can be a little bit more expensive, but like Green Fairy Quilts, for example, they have really good prices and sales a lot of the times, free shipping, things like that. So comment below, let me know what your favorite place to buy fabric is. Don't forget to thumbs up this video and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!